Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to another stream. I hope you are functioning. I hope you're having a good time and that life has been fun and enjoyable. Most importantly, we were not live on Monday because it was a St. Patrick's Day. And I hope you enjoyed your St. Patty's Day like a true Irishman. That doesn't necessarily mean drinking because your girl don't drink. It can also mean shamrock shakes. Thank you very much. Or anything minty. Hello, Brianna. Y'all, my sister is sick. She has COVIDity. She's had it for a couple of days. She's still in the sicky feels, which is why she's here so early, bright and ready for the stream today. Yes, quack indeed. The other reason that she's probably here for is we're going to be painting, assuming we get to it, some ducks today. She found ducks because she's an old person. She's a very old soul, and she collects random bullshit from her other old people. And one of the random things she got were like those outdoor, not stone, but you know, those items that are like statues and stuff that you put in like outdoor gardens. Well, they're not stone, they're like plaster, but she found ducks. It's a very Midwestern thing. There are mallards and lions and geese everywhere. And I mean everywhere. So she found some old ducks that were dirty, all the paint had chipped off, etc. And she said, paint these. And I said, okay. Now, if you don't know birds, the only pretty birds are the boy birds. So we making some gay daddy ducks, okay? Those are the rules because the ladies are ugly as shit. So we making some gay daddy ducks. And we'll probably get around to it at some point today. I've already base painted the one that we would be working on today because from our last mini painting stream, base painting is the most boring thing on the planet. I swear to God. So I've already base painted it. I've actually twice base coated it. I had enough time to do 2 base coats. So the one we'll work on has been base coated twice, but I have the other one to show you guys as a reference to what they kind of looked like at the beginning. They were technically different. The one I've base coated was a little bit like I think it was the orange one. No, he was the yellow one. So he had like a yellowish beak, and he had some green in there, and a little bit of brown still. The one that I haven't painted yet is the orange one, which we looked at both of them and we were surprised they were both mallards at first, because they were painted from what we can see a little differently, but lo and behold, mallards can have yellow or orange beaks. So it is possible to do both. So we'll give one yellow and one orange when we get around to them. But just so you have a reference point. Whoa! This is what they did look like. They're heavy, they're big. This one's also got like, so this is like a design choice. This is not a thing mallards have, which is why we weren't convinced that this one was a mallard. But I think it's the same. Yeah, so it's the same design as the other one. So it's supposed to be both like mallard ducks, but somebody painted on these little designs, which are totally fine. You know, we're going to make ours look however the fuck we want. And this guy, they painted like some green and some black in here, which not mallards don't usually have. But yeah, you could see some of the like the dirt and the grime and how a lot of the color has faded and scratched off and stuff. So this is what the original kind of looked like, and then I've base coated our other one. So that's the reference point. But that is what we're gonna be doing today. Is we're gonna be painting a big boy duck. I don't know if we'll get around to finishing either duck. It's genuinely gonna depend on how everything else goes, because the majority of our time, right, is gonna be spent doing stuff for the show in June, but I don't know how much of that I'm going to do on stream, how much I'm going to do off. I kind of want to do some of the foam on stream, but I got to figure out what I'm doing first. We could do mallard heads and then a dark one and rainbow feathered ones. Yeah, Brianna, why don't you tell me how much or what part of the duck are you open to being like unrealistic? Like, do you want them to just look like realistic mallards? Or do you want me to throw in, like, a little, exactly like you said, right? Like, rainbow feathers and, like, are we making one that's you and me? Are we making a goth one and a purple one? Like, what's the energy? Do you want them to be mallards? It's totally up to you. I will say, I have the exact thing, and I totally forgot that I had this. But I knew I had two color shifters, and one of them was green-blue. And the traditional mallard head is like a dark green, but when it the feathers tint, they change their tint. They they shift into like a blue color. So I know this looks blue, but I have a you're not gonna be able to see it too much without the light. A blue-green tint shifter paint. So essentially, what we'll do is, if we're doing a traditional mallard head, we'll paint the dark green and then put some of this tint shift on top, so it'll tint to blue and change in the light, which will be how real mallard feathers do, which is really cool. Yes, you and me. I would like mallard heads so we can tell. Okay, so then that's what we'll do, is we'll do the traditional like green mallard heads with some tint shift so it shifts to blue a little bit. And then I'll find other parts of the ducks to represent us both. So like maybe it'll be the traditional head and like the traditional beak maybe, and then some of the feathers can be tipped in different colors. We'll play around with it, see what looks the best, because otherwise mallards are mostly just white and brown. So besides their head and like their beak and their feet, but we're not going to see their feet, they're just kind of white and brown. So we'll play around with adding a few colors. Like I do have the purple shift too that we can add to some of the feathers for yours if you want. I've got glitters, got lots of different types of glitters. I don't know what you would prefer, what colors you want on yours. I've just got traditional purple. Yeah, I've got lots of colors that we can. I don't actually have lots of colors, but it's fine. I can make colors. Color theory fail. Let's go. So if you want something specific or want it to be like tipped in a way, I don't care, just not solid black birds. They are ducks. Don't worry. I'm not just going to cover one in black paint and call it a day. It's okay. Relax. I will make sure to fuck around and find out, and we'll play with it a little bit. We'll see. I might do these fully. I probably won't do these guys fully on stream again, because we're gonna do a lot of the stuff for June, but I wanted to play around with it. And I'm a fan. They wouldn't be fully, even mine wouldn't be fully black, because I am a sucker, and anybody who knows this is a little bit too rose gold for me, but I am a sucker for like the metallic colors. So I have a gold and I really want a bronze and a copper. Oh, see, rose gold is very close. So this is the rose gold, which is pretty. It's a little pink for copper, but like I want a metallic copper and a metallic bronze because I like those better. But I have a metallic gold that I'll probably be throwing in there. And then I like my glitters too. The only problem is the glitters that I have mostly have shapes, so I'm gonna have to use that one without a shape. And then I don't have an outdoor. We probably won't get to varnish. So that's not that big of a deal. We'll have to get a separate varnish, but it is what it is. I'll show you we've base coated. This is our base coat. You can see he's real cute. Look at his little face. Look at his little face. He's so cute. So we base coated the first duck here because base coats are so boring and they make you want to die. So we've base coated our first duck, and I think I'm gonna probably start towards. Oh, he's a little. That section is not dried correctly. Didn't plunge right. But I'm probably gonna start. I don't know. Maybe with the back feathers, maybe not. Part of me wants to do the head just because, like, that's the fun part. But I might start with the front because I feel like the front's an easier liner. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. But that's kind of gonna be the energy, I think. Is like we're gonna go there. If we do that, I want to try our tint shift. So I might start with the greens because I want to make sure the tint shift works the way I want it to work. And their eyeballs are kind of like solid black, but we'll mess with those when we need to. I did cover over whatever, like, bauble or marble or whatever it is that's actually in there, because it's not, I don't think it's painted. I think it's like a marble or something that's supposed to be like a marble of an eye. I painted over it because fuck that shit. But I think we'll probably end up doing some green and then try to see if this color tint shift works, I think is the plan. But yes, I hope everyone is well and had a good St. Patty's Day. It is important. It is a holiday you should celebrate, okay? Even if your celebration is like nap time and sleeping, that's fine. As long as you celebrate, okay? This is your Irishman thingy-majig, alright? My blood red background makes my hair look more ginger. I'm allowed to say celebrate St. Patty's Day, alright? I'm allowed to say it. But okay. Without further ado, we'll get to fucking around and finding out. Let's mess with how dark is this green. Let's see. It might be dark enough. It's like a solid ass green. Yeah, it's gonna need a few coats. But it's not bad. I'm mixing a little bit with that white there because that white wasn't dried on the front. But I think that's okay. I don't mind. Ooh! He not a fun smell though. These paints are a little old. It's okay. It's pretty. Yeah, I like it. I like this green. He's got a little bit of a lighter white, which is not necessarily what I want, but he's gonna need a couple of coats anyways. Even with a white base coat, he's gonna need a couple of coats. So I think we're okay with doing a little bit of a white mixture. Yeah. And then the thing with mallards is there's a ring, which is actually kind of nice paint-wise. There's a ring on their necks, which is white, and stops, like, the color variation from the bright green, or the dark green feathers, to where the white ring is, and then to the next, like, brown feathers. So, they actually did put that in the mold of the ducks, which means we can follow that mold line to know where our color stops. Unlike a lot of molds, they don't put little details like that. They just expect you to paint them. So that is very nice for us here. We can follow the mold lines. Very, very nice. Now, the other nice part is, thankfully, these are meant to be, like, I don't know that you're gonna put them outside, but they're technically meant to be outside, which means I don't need to be dainty, because we all know delicate and dainty is not a skill that I have. So they're gonna be a little rough around the edges. That's just how I function, but that's okay. Yeah, probably want a skinnier brush if I'm gonna go around that corner. I did get in, for our mini painting, I did order teeny tiny baby wavy brushes. Unfortunately, they really only come in like a set, So they give you the larger size brushes, which of course I don't want because I have. So those ones are just going to be meh. But the itty bitty size brushes we're going to be using a lot, which is going to be fun. So that'll be cool. Hopefully we can get into all those teeny tiny details that are going to be in our miniatures. And we're not going to do too much on the NPCs. I just really wanted to have them for whenever our evil custom miniature comes in. Because we want to make sure she's detailed, because she's going to be our favorite. And so cool, and we love her. And it's just generally easier to paint. Oh, there it goes. I knew I'd have trouble with it. Oh well, we'll paint over it later. I got green on the eyeball. Ho 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 ho. The only thing that sucks for me about painting is I have a weird way of, like, because I'm not delicate, of, like, gripping and holding and shit. So holding pens and pencils and paintbrushes is, like, really fucking painful for me. Which, you know, if I had money, I'd just go to, like, a physical therapist or something and they could teach me how to hold a fucking paintbrush and a pen and a pencil correctly, but oh well, it's been 25 long years of not doing that. We'll stay in pain, it's fine. Yeah, I'm scratching a bit of that white out. Jaeger. Oh, he does not want to focus. Focus on Mr. Duck. Focus on the Duck Man. You can do it. Come on. He's trying. Oh, he's trying so hard. There he goes. Yeah. Oh, let me put on. I figured out how to put on music for you guys that isn't copyrighted. About right there. While also listening to my own music that is copyrighted. Crazy. Oh, and it starts with a banger. We love it. Now, the only thing we have to be careful of is that it doesn't get too loud in my headphones that YouTube VOD can clock it. And also, the dumbest shit ever is that you can sing it and it can still be claimed copyright. Thankfully, I haven't had that issue so far, but we'll see. Oh my god, who the fuck? Listen, this is a good song. It's Don't Trust Me Right Now. Don't Trust a Hoe. But for some reason, it's the PG censored version. So he went to say, you know that line that goes, and if your boyfriend says he's got beef, tell him I'm a vegetarian and I ain't fucking scared of him. Which is a banger ass line, alright? That's how you know you're a songwriter. It went to sing that line and it silenced the word fucking. Like, as a censored radio version style. I'm like, who in their right mind made a censored version of this song? This entire song is literally about fucking some girl who has a boy. And you decided, yeah, we need a censored version of this. What? Honey, what? In what universe, honey? Let me skip this, because I ain't listening to no censored version. And I don't even know these people. Okay, we're gonna radio from a different place. I'll turn it down just a tad, because I have a feeling that's gonna be a little too loud. Alright, let's see. We need to get some of that green off that brush. pulling up some white here, which I didn't want. We're gonna need a smaller brush for down here anyways. Wow, click, click, boom. Click, click, boom. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah. It's funny because, like, because painting is a hobby and not, like, a career or something I continued studying type of energy, there's so many bad habits I do that any person who, like, actually paints in any capacity would be like, why the fuck are you doing that? But that's what I do. Show you something it. Wow, wow, wow. Click, click, boom. Yeah, we're gonna need a smaller brush for down there, I think. That or I'm gonna have to get the little... I'm gonna have to abandon the strategy and make sure I don't go all the way in. Mama always right. Oh, we got some white paint down here. That's why we're fucking it. Okay, I see, I see, I see. Wow, wow, wow. Click, click, boom. Click, click, boom. Then, of course, the worst part is gonna be... Oh! Getting under that neck. Click, click, boom. I let the stereo play. It's all inside of me. Alright. Nice. Okay. It's all inside of my head. So we gotta let that green dry a little before we can put on another layer or tint shift it. Click, boom. Click, boom. So we'll put that to the side. Click, boom. Click, click, boom. I think we give him the, like, yellow beak. It's probably better to have orange as the base if we're gonna do classic beak territory. Wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wee, wee, wee. Wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee. Wee, wee, wee. Wee, 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 wee. Now, on the beak especially, but in a few other areas, even though I did 2 base coats, which again, incredible. Had enough time to do 2 base coats in white. There's like peeling still of the original paint that was on it. So the beak's gonna have a little bit of texture that might come off when we paint. It depends how stuck it is. It might not come off and it just might be a little funky. But that's okay. I'm no angel, I'm no savior, and I've never been a saint. Well, I know I'm not the devil, 'cause I still can feel the pain. Walked through fire and through brimstone, and there were no pearly gates. Sure to ask about it on my final judgment day. Now we'll see if that, singing that chorus, gets me copyright struck, which I hope it doesn't, because I'm a singer. I like to repeat shit. Just blame it on the neurodivergency and maybe we can get away with it. I told you to wash it. No, I did. I wiped it down. I wiped it down with some like Kleenex wipes and shit. But it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not gonna take off the texture that's on it. I would need to like give it a like an alcohol bath. I'd have to do it with like nail polish remover type of stuff. And I don't have nearly as much time, patience, nor alcohol remover to get all that off. The devil, 'cause I still can feel the pain. Walked through fire and through brimstone, and there were no pearly gates to ask about it. Alright. That's an orange bopped on. That's base layer orange, which is nice and dainty. See, the problem with painting is I have no patience to save my fucking life. Not for a second in any amount of the day do I have patience. Can I paint it? Sure. Can I make it look good? Sure. I just don't have the patience to do it. That's why we do it on stream. No, I'm not the devil, 'cause I still can feel the pain. Walked through fire and through brimstone, and there were no pearly gates. I'll be sure to ask about it on my final judgment day. Alright. Oh, you know what? Maybe we throw in a little of that green. And we'll throw a little brown. So the front feathers are technically like this lightest mushy brown color, which I am gonna do for our first round here. And then if we want to throw other colors on it, we can. I'm just kind of gonna do like a basic little thoroughfare through. I think I already missed that one, but it's okay. I'm not like specifically gonna try and get it neat and pretty, because we're just putting this down as like a kind of like a fake base color, because we're gonna put colors that mallards don't have mixed in with it, versus the other base colors are very much like, oh, that needs to be this color, and then there should be highlights on top of it. Whereas this, we're not quite doing that with. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, but I think we're gonna throw in some fun colors. Goes to about right in there. My girlfriend's got a habit. Oh, she's drunk or if she's stoned. Look her ass. And I make her grit her teeth. Yeah, there we go. Because there's texture on this. So, unlike, you know, like starting a painting from scratch, or like what we're gonna do with, like what we do on minis and stuff, there is a texture in this mold, especially for the feathers. And so I want to make sure that we're not putting on so much paint that we're completely getting rid of that texture that's in there. So you can see the little mold and how those lines are in there and those feather lines are different from the ones on the head. So I want to make sure we keep that. And that's sort of what I was saying about the beak, is there's still some parts of the beak that if I showed you up close still have texture. But it's mostly gone for the beak, so we're not going to worry about it. Yeah, this is basically mallard colors right here. Is we would keep recoating these until we got a solid foundation that we liked. We'd make this part a little bit darker, and then the rest of the back is just white with some dark brown and a little bit of green on the back tails, and that's a mallard. Whether or not we keep that or we fuck around and find out, make it a little cuter, we'll see. I just need my green to be dry, which it almost is. Our base green I don't think is gonna be. Not quite, but our top is. In order to throw in another green base on top of it. Another green on top of it. I want to throw in a bit of that darker brown, actually. Because I have red. It actually, you know what? Let's throw a little red in here. Because I think that's going to be cool when we go over it again. If we put a little red in this front brown. Maybe we go for a brown red. That could look really pretty. Now I'm going to put this on, and this is going to look very bad. Just in case anyone is watching at this moment, it's going to look like I put red paint on the mallard. Because that's essentially what I'm doing. That's why you do multiple layers. But just feel like I should preference that in case anybody's like, oh my god, what are you doing? We made a bad choice. Maybe we did, but this is kind of like if you've only ever done digital art. This is how you traditionally blend. Ooh. With like traditional mediums and not making multiple layers. Because in digital art, you make layers. And it's much easier because you can just delete the layers and go, I don't like that. You cannot do that with traditional mediums. There's no delete button, my friend. Still a little wet too, which is good. Because now it's mixing in there. Which is what I wanted. You die on. I can be your painkiller. Killer. Push up to get rid of a little bit of that white. There we go. He's a little stocky, but that's okay. There we go. Yeah, that's what I want. That looks great. Turn it a little bit so you can see it. We got a bit of that red coming out in the brown. So when we keep going over that, some of that should come through a little bit better and mix in. Killer, I can be a painkiller. You die on. Be a painkiller. Alright. I'm gonna pop back to this green. I think we might want it a little darker before we tint shift it. And Mallard Dark tends to be dark. It's actually not this bright of a green. Oop. Pop, pop. There it goes. So I might throw in just the teeniest amount of black, and this is a very, very bad choice. I should not do this, but I'm gonna fucking do it. Because in theory, black is not gonna make it darker. It's gonna shift the tones. But I'm gonna do it anyways. Hardest part of art is trusting the process. But that is my favorite part because I love fucking around and finding out and experimentation. So this is my favorite part about art. Even though it drives a lot of people crazy, like high anxiety. But I love it because then we do a little bit of this and it'll make it darker. Yeah, there it goes. Now, I have to be careful because I put way too much pressure when I do something like this because you're not technically supposed to do it on the thing you're painting. You are supposed to do it on a separate little board, get the color you want, and then put that color onto the thing you're painting. But fuck that shit. So if I push too hard, I will start pulling up the previous layers of paint, and we're gonna get a lot of crumblies, and we do not want that. Because then it ruins everything we just did. So I need to be careful not to push too hard like I usually do. Alright, now rinse. Now dry. Now green. Oh, not enough. There it is. Yeah, you see right here on the top of the head, you may or may not be able to see that, I'm starting to take up the paint and it's leaving me with white, and that's what I don't want. So I need to be careful of that. Oh, and I didn't get the green back here. Yep, I'm starting to pull it up. Alright, I need to be careful not to pull that up. Could also be, again, I'm impatient, and so I don't like to wait for things to dry, and so it's possible it was not dry enough to do this, but... oh well. This is definitely the darker green that I wanted, though. So that's good, at least. Nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me. Now I need to hit the other side before that black dries. Whoa, and also not spill the black. Wah, like a duck. Alright. Gonna be honest, wasn't sure of your color skills, but that looks good. Here's the thing. Did I fail color theory? Technically, no. Should I have? Probably, yeah. I am not good at color theory, but the one, like, art form that I can generally do is painting. I don't know why it's different from drawing and markers and colored pencils and even digital. All that kind of stuff, not good with. Can't do it, will take me forever. But I can paint. And I don't know why I can paint. For some reason, it just makes sense to me. And that's just kind of how my... And if I change this light a little, you'll see how it actually looks. Hold on. Don't break anything. Hold on. Because right now this light is very bright so I can see better. That's your actual color scheme that you're looking at the moment. You see how I'm adding in that black to get some of that darker green in there? So right now I'm trying to get some of that darker green mixed in. And then the brown and the red is going to be blended together in the second layer to get more of that mixture of like a brown red. And I think with the beak, what we'll probably end up doing with that beak is popping in a little bit of red in there, but probably want to keep it relatively yellow. So that's your real color at the moment. It's just that I keep this light all the way up so that I can see better when I'm painting. And you can see it adds a very big gleam on it. Now I'm gonna let that sit before I do a third layer, because I want some of this black in the back to actually be like solid. And although I love black, I need to put it away before I fuck it up, because I will keep adding and adding and adding, and I know I shouldn't be doing that. So we're gonna switch back to, is our beak dry? Our beak is dry. Okay, so we're gonna switch back to our beak here. I do think I want to do another layer of orange before I do any extra highlight colors on here. Yeah, because that orange is pretty thin. It's pigmented, but it's thin. Everything I ever loved. Our life. You know, I'm listening to Judas in my mind, and it makes me think of our next show. I wonder if I could convince one of the players to be like a Judas figure. The only problem is I'm not sure what they would be like Judasing about, so to speak, because, you know, their task isn't to like, yeah, that's a solid orange. That's what I wanted. Their task is not to, you know, like turn anybody in or stuff like that. I guess technically they're supposed to kill all the bad guys, but I don't know what a Judas figure would do in our terms of the campaign. Maybe they would side with like the king or the queen, and like that could be it. Maybe they also agree in like apocalypse territory. Maybe. We haven't had a traitor yet. For as much as I love to fuck with traitors and villains and secret bad guys, we have not had a traitor yet in one of our shows. Maybe it's just because it's my thing, and nobody else can have it. Haha. I want to do a little bit. Ah! Try not to fuck with it. There we go. That's better. And got so far. How are we on red? Yep, pretty good. Alright, so we've got some red in there. We want to keep it brown tinted, though. So I want to do two things. I'm going to throw in a little gold on them, because I can. And I wanna, but I'm gonna use a different brush, because I don't want it to be a lot. And I think when it mixes, it's gonna lose some of that Metallica. So we'll see. I want to do a little of like a ring. Oh yeah, that's gonna look good with that brown. You guys will see it in a second. Alright, let me turn them. Yeah, look at that gold. That's nice. Ooh, this was a good choice. It's about to get fucked up in a second, but that's a good choice. I like it. In you, gone as far as I could go. There's only one thing you should know. Oh. And you as I could go. Alright, now we gotta rebrown it. Which, I'm sorry to that beautiful gold, but it's about to get fucked up. I think I want to dark brown it. Because I think it needs a little... There's so many lighter toned colors right now. I think it needs a little dark brown in there. We could have rose golded it instead of gold, but that's okay. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of like exactly what I wanted, was this mixture of like a browny red color happening. I actually want to put a little water in that. Let me go to the other side. There it goes. Stadium lights for the glory. There we go. Get a little bit of a lighter color in there. For the glory. And then I want some of that actual brown down here so we see the contrast. Should we die for this? We're all for this. For the glory. For the glory. For the glory. Oh, come on. I know we can have enough in this cap. I don't want to pull it from the bottle if I don't have to. There it is. I think this side we got under. Yeah, we did. Nice. I should not be grabbing on that beak, though. That beak is not dry. Let's go. Nice, pretty brown. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna put a little bit of tint in. I still think I want this green darker. Well, I'm gonna try the tint just to see what it looks like here. The glory! Oh, shit. It's a little bit more droopy than I remember. Whoa. 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 Hooray for the glory. Bum 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 bum. Take the stuff off the table. Put that on this side. Your eyes. Oh, danger tonight. If you like me. But enough. Oh, take it out tonight. I'm invisible tonight. But enough. Oh, give you eyes. Invincible tonight. Invincible tonight. There we go. Get some of that blue tint shift in there. We'll let that set. Tonight, before your eyes. Comfortable tonight. Let's see. To my eyes. I think maybe we put a little bit of like a dark color on here. Maybe like continuation of this brown, but the solid dark. And then we can branch out with white and colored tips. It's kind of what I'm thinking. We'll do this guy. Take you out to heaven if you let me. You know Oh, we have some white down here that is nowhere near dry. Okay. Good to know. Levitate. It's technically supposed to be a white ring, but I wanted to throw that in a little. To heaven if you let me. No, Okay. Good night, Brianna. Love you. Levitate. I might have darker small boys, actually. Yeah, that's closer. Not what I want. Hey, I've got some ochre left. I love ochre. Can make you take to heaven if you let me. No, let me. He's a beautiful duck. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Levitate. I can make your body. I don't have any forest green left from what I saw. So I actually don't have the darker green that I want. I got Viridian. But I don't have forest. Which should be the color that I would want there, but that's okay. It's alright. We'll fuck him around. He's fine. Game. I want a little boy. I keep wanting to grab the part that's like clearly still wet paint. Jeez. As she now said. Nice. That's a good yellow. That looks great. Is she insane? Is she insane? Is she not right? Is she insane? And then I'm gonna do something that most people would probably not do, but I'm gonna do it. Because I can, because he's my duck. And if I want to fuck with him, I will. Hi, Dadley. How are you, friend? What's up? How was your St. Patty's Day? We are out here painting a duck. My sister picked up these old, those ducks that you put outside. The Midwest is filled with geese and ducks and lions and stuff that you put outside in like your front yard and stuff. My sister picked up these old dirty ones that barely had anything left on them and asked me to paint them. So we are painting a mallard. And we might throw in a few colors here or there that aren't quite a mallard, but for the most part, at least right now, he's a mallard. Headstrong. We'll take on anyone. We'll take on anyone. Where we belong. Unfortunately, my impatience is striking quite a bit here. Because this white does not want to dry, and I'm hating it. Doing good. Quack. Quack indeed. Didn't do anything for St. Patty's Day. No worry, you don't have to do something. As long as you enjoy it. That's all that matters on St. Patty's holiday. That's all that matters. So, did you enjoy it? Did you? You better enjoy it. I'm actually gonna throw... I still don't think this is dark enough up here. Back off, I'll take you on. Back on, I'll take on anyone. You've been wrong. I'm headstrong. Take on. Take on anyone. Is not where we belong. I think I want a different one to do a little frilliness with. Ooh, he a little bent. He should be okay though. Played some Animal Crossing, so yeah, hell yeah. Animal Crossing is a great way to chill out and be nice and gentle. I know all about, I know all about. Love will take you on. I'll take on anyone. You are wrong. Headstrong. I'll take on anyone. But you are wrong. Where you belong. Where you belong. Where you belong. Oh. Hey, gal, did that sound go off? Because this can be your test. Thanks for subscribing. For resubscribing for 10 months in a row. Did you hear that sound, gal? Incredible, because guess what? I didn't. Guess I was right the whole fucking time. Funny how that works. For anybody who is watching, Gal did not believe that I was competent enough, which fair game, to understand how to set up alert sounds so that I could hear them. And she was convinced I had done it wrong, and so she made me screen share to make sure I was doing it right, and then she was gonna come in here and make an alert go off to prove that I was just doing it wrong. And it didn't work. I'm gonna put your setup into the sun. Be my guest. Oh, that's funny as shit. Yes, Dadley, it works for you guys. I don't hear anything. That's the part where the argument was occurring. Was I should be able to hear it if it is on monitor. And it is on monitor. I cannot hear it. You guys can hear it, which is all that really matters. As long as I'm somewhat paying attention, like I was just then. But, it is sometimes helpful for me to be able to hear it, too. By you, I wanna make you move, because you're standing still. If your body matches what your eyes can do, you'd probably move right through me on my way to you. And also, for reference for my new folks, my sister bought, I'll show you the other one. Hold on. My sister bought those outdoor style, like, mallard ducks. Kind of, you know, very clearly dirty and paint chipped off and all that kind of stuff, but intact mold-wise. They're plaster, so they're heavy. They're meant for the outside. And she asked me to repaint them. So right now we are working on this pretty mallard boy. And we might throw in a few other colors, but at the moment, he's the one we're focusing on. If your body matches what your eyes can do, you'd probably move right through me on my way to you. I need to flip him around, though. Grab that other side. Bum 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 bum. Oh, that brown wasn't done. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Well, I'm not paralyzed, but I seem to be struck by you. I wanna make you move, because you're standing still. If your body matches what your eyes can do, you'd probably move right through me on my way to you. I seem to be struck by you. I wanna make you move, because you're standing still. If your body matches what your eyes can do, you'd probably move right through me on my way to you. Move right through me on my way to you. I swear to God, if I ever get copyrighted for singing, Lord help me. People are gonna get beat. Sealing the paint once you're done will help protect it from the elements. Dadley, that's what I was thinking too. Is there like a specific sealant for things that go outdoors? Because I feel like there is. Because I think just sealing it in like regular, like matte or whatever varnish, I don't think is gonna do all that much. I think there's got to be an outdoor one. Too hot. We don't want to cover up too much of this tint changing blue here. I just want to make it a little bit more green. I'm not sure. I never looked for the outdoor kind before. Okay, no worries. I guess I'll have to go looking. Never ending fight is not just fighting. Typing is hard. Yes, it is. And that is okay, because I understood what you were saying. Hey, like a disco ball. I want a little bit more black on this side, I think. Lurking and salty? Hehehe, no worries. Thank you for lurking. I can read. Oh, wash away tonight. Promise never ending light. It's the eye. We're fighting. It's not us fighting. Danger out in this club. Man, when I ain't gonna stop. Sing hey, working like a disco ball, more than a courtesy call. Hey, cheer up in this club. Is Gal a salty Pop-Tart at this point? I think she is, in fact. I think she is. Like a disco ball, more than a courtesy call. Here we go. That's a little bit darker. It's kind of what I wanted. They've got a decently dark green. Getting away with murder. Getting away with murder. I think that's kind of what I want. Yeah. Still got a little of that blue sheen in him. I'm gonna let that dry and go to the brown for a bit, I think. Because we always need to come back to things when we're doing art, or we'll put way too much on. And if anybody is a sufferer of adding way too much, it's me. I think that's obvious. So we're gonna go to the brown. See, and it's already doing that in the light that I like, which is that like lighter goldish against that brown red. That's what I wanted it to do. So I'm glad it's doing that. So I should wipe this off then. Although, maybe not, because I might want to put a little bit of black in this brown. Like I did up top there. Probably, if I want like a goldish metallic, I'm going to want it here. So we'll do it on the bottom of it and the corners. I'm getting away with murder. Getting away. I want the dark brown. Painting is hard too. Painting is hard. That is true. But like when Brianna was in here, I was saying, she was like, I'm so surprised. I didn't think you'd be good enough with colors to do this. And like, there's an aspect of that, sure. But in all honesty, do you ever have that thing where like, it's not necessarily, you know, your favorite thing on the planet. It's not the thing like you love more than anything. But for some reason, it's like, you just kind of get it. And like, I can somewhat draw. I can't do anything digitally at all. I can't color with markers. I can't color with colored pencils. I'm really, really bad at coloring in general. But for some reason, painting just makes sense to me. So it is hard and it is difficult. The problem is I wouldn't be able to tell you, like, why. Or, like, what makes sense to me and why I think this is gonna work or not work or, you know, like, I don't know. And I didn't get taught how to paint. I just want to be clear. My first year at college was all, like, drawing and then basic, how do you mix colors in paint, which obviously I pretty much failed. So, I don't know. I mean, y'all were here for my painting stream, like, last year when we made that creepy-ass lady. Sometimes there's some art stuff, and painting is one of them for me, where I just feel like I get it. But to be fair, I don't generally paint for other people, because when I say I get it, right, I still get it in a sense where I paint what I like. You know, like if someone was like, oh, can you paint me a beautiful, you know, like pretty pink princess and, you know, put a rainbow and a golden sunset and all that jazz, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. Because it's just not, it doesn't vibe with me well enough. So, I don't know. And also, like, because painting is more of a hobby, I can fuck around and waste paint and waste cheap paintbrushes and, you know, not have to make it be perfect. I don't have to have it done in a time limit, all that kind of jazz. Whereas, like, if this was your shit, you have to care about your material costs and all that jazz, you know? That's why most people, actual painters, will mix their colors on a palette and not take directly from the bottle and then mix on the art piece that they're painting, because that's a very bad thing that you shouldn't do. But I don't want to use a palette. It's too much steps, too many steps. I just want to fuck around. So I end up mixing colors and shit on the actual thing, because why the hell not? Because I wanna. And I want to see what it does. And I learn something new every time I paint, which is fun. It's like my very, like, how old ladies knit and crochet and stuff, and, like, do Sudoku and puzzles. That is painting for me. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's the four fingers or what, but I have always had trouble holding, like, pencils and pens and paintbrushes and stuff. So I can't do it for very long. Like, my hand is already in pain. It's unfortunately just the way that I hold stuff. But is what it is. Unlike, I feel like old ladies can sit for hours and relax and do their puzzles, I physically cannot do that. Even if I would want to. Doing craft things for hobby instead of commissions is much more fun. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because there's just no pressure. And if someone else likes it, that's cool and awesome, but like, it doesn't matter, you know? So, I feel that energy. I want to flip him back over. Oh, he's heavy. So I want a little more brown over here. Do it for the drive. I think that's what I want. Do it for the drugs. Yeah, I like that. And then I want to put some red up in this front area. Yeah, see, that looks really good on camera, the side that you guys are seeing. It's more matte than that. It's not quite that glossy. The light makes it shiny, but that looks really nice. That's kind of exactly what I want, is I want the dark, little teeny bit of like gold metallic, which we put in, and then red in the center. Like a red-brown. I got a set of dice curing downstairs right now. No way! What kind? What's the color scheme and stuff? Do it for the drugs. I'm fortunately gonna give you his plain booty so I can do the front. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Oh, he looks pretty good from the front, actually. The black is where I want it to be. And the tint is on the back of his head. Okay. Not bad. Trying to do something similar to the Underworld Saga album cover. Ooh. Epic themed dice? That's awesome. That's so cool, dude. That's so fire. My hands. Can't stand to look at you now. When can you want me? Through. Hey. Alcohol inks in black and a very light blue, almost a gray color. I love like a steel gray. Damn, a steel gray is always pretty, yo. That sounds cool, though. I will be excited to see them in the Discord when they're done. I think they'll look fire. I mean, everything you make kind of looks fire, to be honest. Like, all the resin pieces and stuff you put in that Discord and all the weapons and shit always looks so good, my dude. And then I just want the teeniest bit of that gold up in the corner. I'm even going to get a smaller brush. Just the teeniest bit. Oop, bubble pop. What you want, but you're not gonna win this time. Take what you want, but just leave alive. Save me, save me. Yeah. I think that's what I want for the front. Let me show it to y'all. We'll have to do the white ring. You're welcome, Dadley. It's the truth. We'll have to do the white ring. But I genuinely think that that's what I want for those front feathers. I don't think I want to put more on it. Let's see. So we've got like the darker brown happening in the corners, which kind of leads to this like reddish, you can see the gold tint, and then it leads to like this reddish pink center with a little bit more gold in there. Maybe we put a little pink going down, but let me turn the light off because I think it's more of a realistic view if I do that. All right. There you go. Yeah, we've got like that pink center happening a bit. I think that looks pretty good. Kind of vibing with that. And a little bit of gold on top. Let me see. Yeah. Cool. All right, so that front section is done. So I don't think we'll end up finishing either one of these ducks on stream, but in case we ever go back to this, don't let me paint more of that front feathered section. Only the white ring. I kind of like where his head's at too. I just think it needs a little bit more, like, maybe solidness in there, but we'll fuck around with that in a bit. I think I want to do these back feathers. Let's see what the best way to do this is. Probably that. Might still be wet down there. We'll find out real fast. Do, 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 do. Yep, not quite dry yet, which is a little annoying. Okay. It's not bad though. Gave us kind of a dark brown in there, which is sort of what I wanted. And then technically it's just white with little brown tips everywhere, but like I said, we're gonna throw in a little bit more color than that. Let's see. I'm gonna try this little Viridian one. How is the mini stuff going? Not bad. I got in the foam that we're gonna use for the terrain, so probably on Monday we might bust out some of the foam and start building like our basic terrain pieces. And my dad had some leftover stuff for the things he's doing. So I have this really cool, like, textured floor piece that we might use instead of crafting stuff out of foam, but I haven't decided yet. So we'll see what we like. But it's going pretty well otherwise. She was. She's hell on heels. Coolio indeed. She turns my wheels. She's hell on heels. She loves. Look to her, come inside. She will on heels, and she turns my wheels. When her angel eyes, she's hell on heels. She's hell on heels. She turns my wheels. And her angel eyes, baby, will come inside. Hell on heels. On heels. On heels. Her angel eyes, baby, hypnotized. Hell on heels. Oh yeah, I like adding this Viridian. This is making it look much like more of a darkish green with a bluey tint, which is what I want for a mallard. I think I'm gonna flip him to do the base here. Here we go. I'm hoping he's not too wet to flip. We'll see real fast. Yeah, look how much darker that is. That's really nice. If you say love, then how do I bring it out? I don't hate you, boy, I just wanna save you. Then left to save. I'm you, girl, but I'm not the answer to the questions that you still have. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Well, if this ain't love, then how do we get out? I don't hate you, boy. I just want to save you while there's still something left to save. And this is showing me we got some brown under there, so I want to orange that up. Questions that you still have. Whoa, whoa. What's gonna need a couple layers, okay. Alright. Yeah, we'll have to do a couple layers of those. Get that brown off. If this ain't love, then how do we break out? Ooh, I think I like him. Still got a little bit of that blue tint happening. There's still something left to save. Whoa, whoa. The answer for the questions that you still have. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, I like him. Alright, let's move on to these other feathers and see what we want to do then. Oh god, where did your cap go? There it is. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, he's got that bluish green in the back. I like it. We'll mess with the eyeballs later. Okay. What do we want to do here? Begins to rise. It's far from over. Stinted behind. I think we have a white base. I think maybe we do a little gray, because generally the mallards are gray, and then they've got a little bit of brown here. We could do the individual feathers, but I think that will kill us. It's far from you. It kind of creates like a cream color. I wonder if I have a cream. I busted out ochre, which I love. Hey, MM, it's good to see you. Hello, how have you been, MM? Hope you've been well. We're working on a duck for my sister. I hope life has been treating you good. Let's see. My breath away. And I survive. Paranoid. I'm seeing if I've got more of like a yellowish cream tone or if I'm going gray for this. I got burnt, but that would have been for the front. Yeah, I think I don't quite have a cream. Yep, those are glowing dark. Alright, we're going gray. Oh, this lost again. We're not giving in. I will not bow. I will not break. I will shut the world away. And I will not fall. I will not fade. I will take your breath away. to change. And I am not proud, cold-blooded fate. I kind of want to save this gray for our stones. I don't even think, I'm going to have to probably get more. Maybe I do use the lighter brown. Oh, what if I gold base it? I love my gold, and it's a little more expensive, but it might work. If we do a thin coat on it. Let's do the light brown. And let's do a thin wash of it and see how that works. We'll even mix it with the white. My boyfriend cheated on me. That sucks balls. That is unfortunate and shitty. And I'm sorry that a man has betrayed you, so. Some men are unfortunately shitty. Take your breath away, and I'll survive. Paranoid. I have lost the will to change, and I am not proud. Cold-blooded fate. Whoop! Shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. That was a bad choice, but it's been done. Alright, well, I don't even think I could get this fucker out if I wanted to. Oh, maybe. Oh, okay, I got him. We're gonna try and pour it into 2. Oh boy, this is a bad choice. This is why I don't mix, except for on the thing itself. Like you're not supposed to do. Boom, boom, ba-na-na-na-na-na. Come on. Alright. Ooh, that one's sticky. I don't want to use that. No, thank you. The only one. What about this one? Okay. You can understand when happiness doesn't work. You'll understand. Pain without love. Pain can't get enough. Pain, yeah, I like it rough, but it's real pain than nothing at all. Without love, pain can't get enough. Pain, like it rough, but I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all. With my BFF too, girl, you gotta get better friends. Get better friends. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, that's what I want. Without love, pain can't get enough. Pain get rough, 'cause I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all. Without love, can't get enough. Get rough, 'cause I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all. Feel pain. For you. Pain can't get enough. The duck is so cute though. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very sweet of you. Just having a nice chill paint day. Out love, pain can't get enough. Rough, I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all. Pain can't get enough. Alright. Rather feel pain. Okay, ducky, ducky, ducky. Doki, doki. Oh, you can find it, Mr. Camera. Find the hand, find the duck. You can do it. Find the hand, find the duck. There you go. Think this is our dark. We can do this underscore of a light, 'cause that's where there was green for an actual mallard. We could do probably these in dark. Yeah. The way your faces make you help to higher places. Empire. The fire will break away. Everybody from everyone. Away your places, make yourself to higher places. Yeah, because I think, and then the underscore, we can do like the big boy feathers. We could probably do them a lighter brown too. Yeah, actually, let's do that. We got a lot of it too. Take yourself to higher places. Break. If you can't stand the way this place is, make yourself to higher places. Whoa, whoa. And switch. Whoa. To higher places. There we go. Nice. That's pretty. I like him. You fooled everyone. Good for you. Booty check. There we go. Barely able. Don't get courage. Take a shot of liquid courage. Monsters are real, and they're trained how to kill. Backward, just laugh at how I feel. Camera, find the hand. Find the hand. You can do it. Find the hand. Oh god, he's having so much trouble. Okay. Find the hand. There you go. Good for you. Nobody. Good for you. One. Wrapped in burlap, barely able. Come a prayer. God you think is there. My monsters are real, and they're trained how to kill. Back and they just laugh at how I feel. Feel like if we're gonna do more rows, like the front, we want to do it on our. Well, this is gonna be our dark brown one, so I guess it would be our rose, and then this is our green. I could see that. My monsters are real. Pew, 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 pew. Maybe we do want to add a little yellow then. Let me actually bust out that ochre, I think. If we want to keep it in the lighter territory. On the table, wrapped in burlap, barely able. Don't get courage, take a shot of liquid courage. A prayer is a God you think is there. Real, and they're trained how to kill. But back and they just laugh at how you feel. Nope, that ochre is dead and gone and buried. He's getting thrown away. Never say die. Whoosh! My monsters are real. I could throw in a glow in the dark, but they're all like pink and green. I don't want to throw in any greenish-er stuff if we're gonna glow in the dark yet. So I guess we'll just stick with that yellow. Yeah, just a primary yellow. The only other one I have is like a cadmium. Let's see. Let's try this. Okay. It's not the worst yellow. Know who you are. It wasn't that hard just to figure you out. It almost creates like a goldish color combined with this brown, which is interesting. There's the mix. Worked it hard to figure you out with it. Whoa, you are. It wasn't that hard just to figure you out. Nice. Mallard duck. Yes, indeed, stuffies. My sister picked up those like outdoor, like garden ornaments, lawn ornament stuff. So these are like solid plaster. They're heavy. And they were old and dirty and not a lot of the paint was still there. So she asked me to repaint them. So that's what we're doing. We're going with like general mallard color scheme, but we're adding a little bit more to it to make it more interesting instead of just like green head, brown and white body. So I think I have a wooden one somewhere. Yeah, I was saying like ducks and geese and lions are very like a Midwestern thing to put on all your stuff. So, it's not uncommon to see. I haven't missed you yet. By every sigh and scream we'd make. You get, but I still don't miss you yet. Also, some wooden swans, very beautiful. Yeah, my Nana, she loved like geese. Those were her things. There's a few swans here or there, but geese, ducks, she loved it. She had, to the point where in the old house I grew up in, she had, you would open the door and unlike a lot of other houses, when you open the door you'd walk directly into the kitchen. So there's no like waiting room, living area, it's just the kitchen. And so right at the front of the door, when you open that door to the kitchen and you stepped inside the house, like take off your shoes and all that jazz, although we were not a take off shoes household, just want to be very clear, because you're walking in the kitchen, there was a giant ass like stone goose, just solid white goose, and it had a bow tie on it, or a ribbon is what I should say. It had a ribbon, and I don't know if it was sold and made with that ribbon. It also had a little hat, like made out of like fibers and stuff, like classic, you know, farm wife style little hat, little bonnet hat, with the strings, the ribbon that went under your chin. So it was wearing a bonnet, and it had had a ribbon tied around its neck. And I don't know if those were added on by her or if it was sold that way. All I know is, and this thing was huge. I'm talking, it was larger than me as a child. Like, it was tall. It was like, oh, you missed everything? I'll repeat it, stuffies. I was saying that my Nana, her thing was geese. She loved geese and subsequently ducks, but mostly geese. And in the house that I grew up in, when you walked in, unlike a lot of other houses, the entrance was in the kitchen. So when you walked into our house, you'd be walking directly into the kitchen. So right at that entryway, she had like a 4-foot tall, 3-foot tall, solid stone goose. Like, this thing is supposed to be out in your garden type of energy, but it was right in the kitchen where people would enter. And it wore a cute little, like, wicker bonnet and had a ribbon tied around its neck. And I loved that thing. That is still one of the things, if I ever am able to afford and purchase a house, I want, not a goose, but some sort of, like, entryway stone or statue or creature or something that is, like, greeting you as you enter the way her goose did. But I really remember that goose. I loved it. It was fantastic. Literally goose. Like, the epitome of white storybook goose is exactly what it looked like. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And I encourage everybody to have something like that. Obviously, for me, it would probably end up being like a dragon or something, but one day if I ever get a house, I want one of those. Um, and then I was also saying, because you walked directly into our kitchen to enter the house, we were not a take off your shoes household. I know that's controversial to a lot of people, but you did not take off your shoes if you entered our house. Um, which in a lot of cultures is like disrespectful, because it's like, oh, you're supposed to make yourself at home, but if you keep like your shoes and your coats and your hats on, then it's like, you know, trying to say that like you're like disrespecting the home and the space, right? But for us, it was kind of the opposite, because obviously you're walking to the kitchen, so you didn't take your shoes and everything off. But also, the idea was like, if you took your shoes and your coat and your hat and everything off, then you were like inviting yourself to stay. Because I lived in a household where, and I still kind of do, my family has always been the type of people where we essentially live in the 80s, and earlier than that, like the 50s and 60s, where you do not announce that you are coming over to somebody's house. You just open the door and you walk in and you see if anybody's home. Like, that's just what you do. You say hi to their animals, and if nobody's home, you leave and you don't tell them that you were there. It's just the way that it worked growing up, and somewhat still the way it works. Not entirely, but kind of, yeah. If I had a house and I lived close enough, you bet your ass that's what my sister would do to me. And so with that mentality in mind, you didn't take off your shoes and your hats and all that stuff because you would show up unannounced, and you don't show up unannounced and then take everything off and invite yourself to stay, right? You show up unannounced with like food. Like my aunts would show up with a sweet tea for my mom and French fries for me. And then they'd be like, here's, I just, I know you like this, so I'm stopping by. Here's a tea. Here's some French fries. Do you have time? And my mom would be like, yeah, I have time. And then they'd chat for like an hour, or it'd be like, no, we have to go somewhere. And she'd be like, all right, I'll catch you tomorrow. Right? And then you leave. So that was kind of like the culture. And it's a culture that I really, really miss, actually. I really loved it. I don't necessarily like people coming over unannounced. I don't know how much I vibe with that. But I like the comfortability that came with the feeling of our house is everybody's house. I really liked that. I liked that a lot. I don't take off my shoes either, but I never go outside anyways. Oh, I feel that energy. I feel that. So you live in the Midwest. I say East Coast. But I grew up very Midwest, is as most as I will say. I'll try not to give too much out. But yeah. I grew up East Coast and Midwest. We did both. So lived in both spaces, but the mom side of my family was Midwest. So it was very much that energy of like, you just enter. That sounds like the Irish goodbye, except it's the Southern welcome. Literally, Dadly and my Irish side of my family is my mother's side. So that is the side I'm talking about, is the Irish side. And I know they're famous for the Irish goodbye. And that's like the thing is like, oh, you just kind of go, all right, cool, I'm out. Like, and I won't tell anybody I was there. But that, I think people forget that in order to say goodbye, you have to say hello. So the Irish goodbye is a thing, but it's accompanied by the Irish hello. Like, yeah, okay, you don't tell anybody you left and you just go. At some point, you also have had to not told anyone you showed up and you're there, right? So that is very much what that Irish side of my family was like, we show up. We don't ask. We don't question things. We just kind of say, hey, I'm outside. We don't even say, hey, I'm outside. I'm going to be honest with you. Depending on where you live, like where I lived growing up, you didn't lock your doors. And I know several areas nowadays, which I'm not going to say where. I don't live there, but I know several places and several people who still live in areas where you don't lock your doors. It's just not a thing. And your neighbors come in, and, you know, your family comes in, and lots of stuff like that. And yes, I'm not advising that everyone should do this, right? Like, when I lived in Philly, I didn't fucking leave my doors unlocked. That'd be dumb as shit. But for as unfortunate as some of the things are that come with that familial, traditional aspect and feeling, like, a lot of that comes with conservative nature and, you know, against LGBTQ and voting Republican and all this stuff. All of that stuff sucks, but in that same vein, God, there is something to be said for the feeling of home that it gives. And I wish we could continue that feeling in a house and a culture that actually respects all people, you know what I mean? Maybe one day I'll be able to do that. When I have a house and a home, I'm going to make it feel like that traditional family environment welcome, except it's actually going to be welcome to everyone, how they are and who they are. I don't know, man. I just miss that feeling sometimes. I have discovered over many a year that I think rather than being like, ooh, I have undiagnosed depression and stuff, and I should go get that diagnosed, I think my big hiccup is that generally I feel very lonely. And that's one of those aspects that makes me feel very lonely. But that's just something you deal with, you know? And you work around it, and eventually you get diagnosed and you go get help, but we'll get there eventually. Oh, Midwest is basically Canadian anyway, so it's open door policy. Yeah, Stuffies, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm talking about. It's just, that's just kind of how it works, you know? And it's not always safe, and there will be issues, and there will be problems, but at the same time, like, it's a fantastic feeling. You know what I mean? It's fantastic to have that type of an environment and feel like you can just have an open home, open door policy. Ow. That was my nerve. Fuck. That one hurt. I don't know if there's supposed to be a nerve there or it's just because my finger's fucked up, but that hurt. Alright. Let's fuck around with this dude. I like him. He's looking so good. I like him. But your truth is hell, I'll have to fake it. Uh-oh, we're running out of paper towels. I'm not in love, but the sex is good. I'd leave it or could. I'm not in love, but the sex is good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that wasn't fun. It wasn't like as stinging as nerve pain usually is. You know how, have you ever done that thing where it feels like you've rolled something, but it's not like rolling your ankle because there's like nothing there for you to roll? That's like what just happened to my finger, where it feels like I rolled over like a nerve or a muscle or something. Like, you know, when you put like paper in between your hands and you do this and you can feel it rolling, like Play-Doh or something? You ever done that sort of a feeling? That's like what it felt like, but I was like, I hate when that happens. I grew up in the 90s and neighborhood friends coming over was a lot of fun. Exactly, Stuffies. See, that's the thing is like, my big deal is loneliness. Back to this. I never had friends that came over and used the open door policy. It's not a thing that I had. So for me, family was that, right? The feeling of friends coming over. Even if I shut down my family every time they tried to talk to me, right? It was still that. And I still have that when I live with other people. There's an aspect of when they come home to the house, I want to meet them at the door. I really am like I'm technically the goth girlfriend to the golden retriever, but in personality wise, I am the golden retriever. Like, I want to meet you like a dog at the door and have like a conversation, and then we can go our separate ways, you know? The pain of busting a blood vessel on the palm of your hand. Ooh. See, that sounds drastic. I don't know if that's the energy or not. I have no idea. I don't know if I've ever done that, to be honest with you. Maybe. I'm not sure. Not sure if that's what it was or not. Ooh, I like making this yellow. Ooh, I like that. That's cool. Get rid of that white. We don't want to see any of that white undercoat. Let me put this on the other side too while it's still wet. Yeah, I like that yellow. Just a little bit. Not a fun time? I don't imagine it would be. Sounds painful as shit. I want to throw in a little... I want to make it a little lighter. Put in some white. Do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this white down to make it lighter. But I'm actually going to dip it in water and then do that. Yeah, there we go. Mix that up in there. Make it a little lighter. I gotta switch to this side so I can see it better. Do you remember Duck Duck Goose? Hell yeah, I do. You kidding me? Next week, I, am in charge of more children. I'm doing not quite as formal as last time, but I get to hang out with some more kids. Wild statement. Unfortunately, they're a little too old for Duck Duck Goose. I think. They're like 6. But, yeah, we'll bust out some kids' games like that to play. Or is it closer to a hand cramp? I get those when hand sanding sometimes. No, it wasn't that. My hands are constantly in pain, so that's kind of like the normal. When I do this kind of stuff, not like just in general, not like chronic pain, but so yes, but no, it was like rolling over a thing. DuckTales. Oh, DuckTales was a good show. DuckTales is never the one that I really got into or watched. I know like basic plot and like bits and pieces about it, but like I wouldn't be able to tell you if there's like an overarching story or what happens in the overarching story, etc. That was a little bit past me, I'm afraid. Bad company till the day I die. I was a Phineas and Ferb kid, which, for the record, they are kind of continuing Phineas and Ferb. Like original cast, original creators, everything. because Phineas and Ferb is the best children's cartoon ever made. Thank you very much. I'll fight a bitch. And they're redoing it. I don't know when it comes out. I think it comes out sometime this year. And, like, it is not a joke. I will fucking watch that shit on stream if I have to. Because that is my jam. Everybody better be reintroduced to Phineas and Ferb. If they make it good enough that there's a whole ass younger generation that will know Phineas and Ferb, and people who are my age at like 25 will be able to relate in 20 years or in 15 years when we are 40 to 20-year-olds, it's gonna be the best thing ever done. Like, genuinely. AGLET. Aglet, don't forget it. It would be the ultimate goal and dream to get on the new Phineas and Ferb. Like, even if I'm the one-liner background voice, that would be my dream. God tier dream. Yo, my man. I'm saying this right now. Please put me on the new Phineas and Ferb. Let me be a voice. I beg of you. It's one of my favorite shit. I loved it as a kid. I can sing every fucking song. Well, I shouldn't say that if I want to be on a Disney show. I shouldn't swear if I want to be on a Disney show. Oh, that's so funny. Just me saying fucking in the middle of asking to be on it. I haven't seen it, but I have heard of it. So, Stuffies, it's one of those things where you may or may not like watching it as an adult. Unlike something like Avatar, it is purely like episodic, fun times, family-friendly comedy energy. So, it's one of those shows where you'd probably put it down in the background, and they're 15-minute segments. Like, so it's 2 episodes in 130 minutes, because they're that's how old school style it is. But when I say put it on in the background, you will either know, based on the first couple of episodes with songs, if you actually want to sit down and watch this shit like it's a TV show, or if you're kind of like, yeah, I'll put this on and just casually know about it. Personally, I fucking love it. It's like, I don't rewatch the episodes, but I know those songs word for word, yo. Like, throw any Phineas and Ferb song at me, let's go. I've heard it, I'll remember it, my brain will clock it. And honestly, credit where credit's due, a lot of those songs are done by the creators, who, for the life of me, I can't think of his last name. I know his name is Dan. I can't think of his last name. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with names. You guys know this. Yeah, I don't remember. But some of them are written by him and done by them. But a lot of them are done by Bowling for Soup, which is like a legitimate real band who does actual adult music. So, like, that's why a lot of them are good and catchy, to be honest. I used to jam to Phineas and Ferb songs on the iPod days, bro. And I was the kid who liked all the songs that normal, like, Phineas and Ferb people or casual Phineas and Ferb people didn't know about, right? Like, I'm not joking. I have seen all of them to the point where, like, Across the Second Dimension has a banger of a song, has a good song. But really the top songs, you wanna know what the top songs are? First of all, if you do not think that one of the Love Handle songs is one of the best songs, literally of all of Phineas and Ferb, like, I'm talking top 1, top 2, top 3. Top 3 songs is one of them has to be that fucking, well, you're saying that you don't got rhythm, but listen what you're doing right then. With that stamp and a book, you got a real nice hook. Mister, you've got rhythm times 10. If you don't think that's one of the top 3, you're wrong. You are wrong. You are so fucking wrong. Top 3. And I will triple double down here. If I see anyone ever put shit like Gitchy Gitchy Goo or Backyard Beach or Finadroids and Furbots in their top songs, you are incorrect and you have no music taste. Like, I'm sorry, those don't deserve to be anywhere near the top. They can be category, maybe B category. But if they're an A or above, you are wrong. I love that song, the library song. Yeah, that library song's fire. The other really, really good ones, Busted. Busted is a top tier. Busted is a top tier. Personally, one that's kind of controversial, I really like, and this is just my music taste, I love, I got chains on me and they're dragging me down. Got these chains on me, hear that clanking sound. That's one of my bangers, but that's just kind of me and my genre. I also really like rubber bands, rubber balls filled with super special density. The only problem with Around the World in like One Summer or whatever the movie is titled. Hold on. I have to pause my actual music because now we're talking about some serious shit here. Literally, nostalgia brain is tingling. Okay, so I've never seen it said, but I, as a very clear white person, cannot speak to this. I've never seen it talked about in the fandom, so I'm assuming everything is fine. I do wonder and would like an actual like Indian and Japanese perspective and other perspectives on the Around the World like TV show special, because that was one of my favorites with the rubber bands and the you know, that whole thing where they go around the world, whatever, and they get stranded on the island and stuff. However, a few of those songs feel a little culturally appropriative. Rubber bands, rubber balls being one of them, and I don't know if that's true. I like the song, but that's why I don't put it in my top. Platypus controlling me, God tier, God tier. Platypus controlling me is S tier, S tier. There's a platypus controlling me. He's underneath the table. Oh, I get it. A platypus is the metaphor for whatever's holding you down in life. Like, that is an S tier song. S tier song. Around the World has Across the Second Dimension as some great stuff. So Across the Second Dimension, I don't think has the greatest of music. I think it's a great movie because I'm sorry, I think the best parts of Phineas and Ferb are when Phineas gets to be a little dickwad. I love watching his autistic ass be an asshole. Because you have to remember, these kids are 8. When I was watching it as a child, I legitimately thought they were at least 10, if not 12. These boys are 8 years old. 8. So Across the Second Dimension, I think, is a great, one of the best movies, or one of the better movies, because the angst between Phineas and Perry the Platypus, and then at the end of the film, when he, like, isn't that the film where Isabella kisses him or something? Or I don't know which one. I think that's that film. That one is fantastic. That one is God tier when they do that. And like rewrite time or whatever. We like that. And then I was never a big fan of like Candace stuff. I thought they were older too. I know, right? I know. I was never a big fan of all the Candace stuff. I think Little Brothers is good. I didn't care for her going to Mars. I do think the newer movie that came out in like 2023, with hold on, let me big screen this. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I appreciate the nerdiness here. Thank you, Stuffies. I love nerding out and talking about all the nerdy shit. We have to go through it now. So I think the newest movie from Phineas and Ferb, which again is a show that ended in like what, 2013, 2012, something like this, because it's when I was a kid, and the latest movie came out in like 2023 or something, because fucking they're amazing, and I can't believe Disney lets them do shit, but they're amazing. I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it. It had some good songs, but it was kind of okay. I really liked, oh, have you seen Milo Murphy's Law? I actually really like the Phineas and Ferb special in Milo Murphy's Law. I think that's a good one. There's also if we're talking songs, OG Phineas and Ferb songs, there's another one that's like in my top of tops. Oh, I do think the mainstream Love Handle song is a top song along with the library one. I cannot think of how it goes to save my life. Shoot. I can't think of how it goes, but the one that gets their parents back together, not back together, they were already together. Yeah, that's a banger. That's a classic. Another classic. I love, oh my God, we're gonna have to do a stream where it's a tier list of these. We're gonna do it like Eugene style, where it's, like, I'm right, you're wrong. That kind of energy. I'm just gonna type in all Phineas and Ferb songs. Because I know any of this backyard bitch shit is so wrong, and you are so wrong if you think that they... I'm sorry, this show ended when? 2009? Hold on. Was I really that young? When was Phineas and Ferb made? No fucking way. Oh, no, okay, it did air until 2015. So this show did so well. It is old. It started in 2007, but it aired until 2015. Holy shit! That's 8 years. Oh my God. Yo, it ran for 8 fucking years, dude. Holy shit. Nothing runs for that long on Disney Channel. Nothing. Oh my God. Whoa. And it's coming back for 2 new seasons in, did they say when? Oh, in 2025. Okay. And it's picking up exactly it's the exact summer after, so they're gonna be 9. Which is adorable. God, I can't believe, this is probably, everybody be like, oh, what's Disney's, coolest or like most influential product? Bitch, it's Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb hit 8 years of generations of people. Like, you cannot tell me that it's not the most influential. List of songs by episodes. I don't want list of songs by episode. What the I don't want episodes. Get out of here. I want every single song. Category, songs. Give me every single one. No, I don't want to do it by season. Here we go. All right, we're going to go through them. Ready? Aglet, ABC. Ain't Got Rhythm. That's the name of the one we were talking about. Oh, well, of course the Perry the Platypus theme song is good, right? Oh, that's the other one I was thinking of. You know what's an S tier? Anytime Perry and Doofenshmirtz are like gay as shit. Which, yes, I know I'm talking about an animal and a person. I'm a furry, fuck off. The song where he's like, the We Used to Be Enemies song when Perry gets like replaced with like Peter the Panda or something. Spotify has a playlist. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna do a stream of this. We're gonna do a stream where I rank all these songs. I swear to God. But there's 2. There's the uppy one when they're together, which is my nama nama, ooh my nama nama nama, my nama nama, ooh my nama nama nama, used to be alone in a navel all day. That one's good, and then the sad one he sings, when he goes away, is also good. Oh, I'm also a fan of, some people like it, some people don't, which is fair. I'm a fan of, we're watching and we're waiting on the edge of our seat, anticipating. I like that one. Just for kind of the energy. I'm just scrolling through real fast to see if any of the names hit me. I hated the Ducky Momo shit. That was so annoying to me. Did not like that. Evil Boys. Evil Boys. Yo, Evil Boys, S tier. Evil Boys was one of my evil little boys. That was one of my S tier songs because it's like straight up metal. Loved it, loved it, loved it. God, there's so many. There's some that are just like 10 seconds too, and they got away with it, which is funny. Got away with it in quotes, but like every episode except for the first one has music, and then they go back and they do the first one and give it music again. I'm not seeing any more that are popping out just by the name. Oh, isn't there a bully song? I don't see it here, but isn't there like a bully one? That's a good one. I remember the bully one being good, but I don't see it here. Like Gitchy Gitchy Goo and stuff is good. Oh, Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem. Me same. I like Hey Ferb. I feel like my brain knows that, but I don't remember which one that is. Which one is that? Also, Carpe Diem, that's the movie, the Around the World movie, I think is my favorite Phineas and Ferb movie. I just really, really liked it. But I loved the Carpe Diem, the song that has like Clay Aiken and like Shania Twain or some shit, which is like unfair. Oh, that's what it is. It's not Carpe Diem. There's another song which they end it with, which was always my favorite. It is so high up for me that other people don't care about, but I loved Around the World. It's the Summer Belongs to You. And everybody gets their own like little solo to sing. He's a bully. Thank you. That's a good one. He's a bully. That's a good one. But yeah, the Summer Belongs to You. Summer belongs to you. Where each person got their own little moment to sing. I love that song. And a lot of people, it was not their shit, which is totally fine because not everybody likes that movie. But I think that's probably my favorite movie. I love that one. Other stuff on here. Nothing's popping out. Hail, hail, Dufenia. We love Hail, hail, Dufenia. Okay, next. I'm still going. Me love, History of Rock, Tri-State Area, Mix and Mingle Machine. How do it do? I remember that. Chariot. The I Believe We Can. That's the Shania Twain one. Kick It Up a Notch was a favorite of mine. That's a good one. I'm okay with that. I can support you for that. I Love You, Mom. I like almost can't listen to anymore because my mother is dead. But like, it was still good even when she was alive. That's all I'm saying. My Undead Money's fine. It's okay. But I don't know. I hate the fucking Ducky Momo shit. I'm Madonna and I wanna have fun. Boo doo 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 doo. Oh, One Good Scare is cute. That's an early one. One Good Scare is one of those few ones that I think is a sleeper hit. One good scare ought to do you some good. And it's because it's got like talking and stuff in it. I think it's a sleeper hit. J-pop. Yeah, Welcome to Tokyo. Peter and Perry. That's so funny. Peter the Panda. Kick It Up a Notch. Yep. Kick My Way Into Her Heart. That's so fucking funny. Oh! Evil Love. Yo. I can't deny the allegations. Evil Love was my number one. I swear to God, that motherfucker, when I was a kid, was number one. Played it all the time. Loved Evil Love. Because it was kind of like the funny, stupid version of like a Disney princess love song, like Meg from Hercules. I was always annoyed with characters like Meg from Hercules because even though they were like the badass cool women, they still sung ballads and love songs, and it would annoy the shit out of me. Same reason why I'm like, I like Mulan, but I can't stand Reflection. Because I'm like, oh my god, let them sing something that fits them. It was annoying. So I loved Evil Love because it was fucking hysterical. Because Doofenshmirtz's voice is like, wah, 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 wah. And then her voice is like nice and low. Loved Evil Love. That was my shit, bro. And I know not a lot of people remember that one, but that was my shit. Absolutely my shit. Ready for the Betties, ready for the Betties. I remember that one. Robot Riot. Run, Rudolph. Run, Candace, Run is not a song, really, but it was, that shit was fire. Run, Candace, run. Run, Candace, run. Like, it felt like they were gonna, like, kill that bitch. Like, we were about to see her die, and I was like, you know what? I'm okay with that. Everyone knows SIMP. I get it. That's a big boy banger. It's so, I have to say, so funny that they came up with a stupid ass acronym that eventually became an actual internet slang term for something completely else. And so it makes SIMP a very funny song now. I gotta give them that. See what else we got. We should be towards the end because we're in the S's now. Squidance. I don't even think they're all on here because I did not see Evil Love when I was scrolling. Where do we begin? Summer belongs to you. That was my shit. Summer belongs to you. Oh my god, that's right. They did do What Does the Fox Say? Wow, it really did come out in that time period, huh? Wow. When We Didn't Get Along. That's the sad one of mine. So it was my nema nema, ooh, my nema nema nema. That was the happy one. And then the sad one was When We Didn't Get Along. That was fire. Both of those are such fire. Because Perry the Platypus is arguably the best character. But I think he's the normie pick. He's the normie pick. If you pick anybody besides Perry the Platypus, I know you're an actual fan of Phineas and Ferb. Versus if you're not a fan and you just have heard of them here or there, you pick Perry the Platypus or you pick Doofenshmirtz. But if you pick anyone else, you're a fan. Because it takes balls, like you said, Dadley. It takes balls to pick Ferb. I might dislike you if you say Candace, but at least I know you're a true fan. I hate that bitch. It takes balls to say Vanessa. It takes the biggest balls to say Phineas, okay? Phineas was my boy. I loved Phineas. Still love Phineas. That's my boy. That's what the actual Love Handle song was you snuck your way right into my heart. That one was good. I liked that one. There's a platypus controlling me. He's underneath the table. Tour de Ferb. That's funny. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for what's on this list. But damn, dude. Damn. Those are some good ones. Many bangers. It's true. Many bangers indeed. And one day when we're just doing Twitch, or I'll just delete the YouTube version so that I don't get copyright strike, we will do a tier list. Or I'll just listen to it on my end and I'll just show you guys the tier list side because God, Phineas and Ferb was so good. Phineas and Ferb is just brilliant. Brilliant. Genuinely brilliant. Like, nothing better than Phineas and Ferb. It's so good. I think we're kind of at a stopping point for our Mr. Duck, too. I'll go ahead and show him off a little. We did quite a bit on him. He's got this beautiful front brownish, reddish, gold feathers here, which are really pretty. Really like how we did those. And then he's got a cute little beak. And he's got this, like, greenish. He's got the green and the black in there like a mallard does. And he's got that shiny bluish color that peeks through on the mallard. I think he's really pretty. I think we did a good job. And we will probably peace out here as he stares you down. Because I kind of want to make this a stopping point. And maybe we'll finish the duck on Monday. Maybe we'll paint some more miniatures. Maybe we will get into the foam, or I'll show you guys the square that I think we're going to use for our base piece. I don't know. I haven't decided. We'll have to figure it out. We'll see how well carving foam goes. We'll figure out what to do on Monday. Something related to this stuff. Also, just as a side tidbit, Dadley, since you're here, have you hopped onto Clonizer recently? Because they updated it, because it's going to release in April, like the official real version and not the demo. They updated it. You can play with a new, like, clone machine, like a new spaceship, whole new, like, 4 different decks. And they're a lot of fun, and they're really tricky. And it resets when you play with the new spaceship and the new set of decks with the spaceship, it resets your difficulty level. So you have to start at the beginning. It's really tricky. I've been playing with the new spaceship and the new deck sets and trying to figure them all out and unlock new ones. And it has a whole nother layer because you can move around your spaceship now. Unable to at the moment, sadly. It's no worry. I just wanted to tell you because I remembered we had been talking about it and I booted it up recently and I saw that was a thing. And so since I've been playing it, I wanted to tell you so that you knew, so that you weren't just like, all right, I'm going to uninstall and I'm kind of done. So that way you kept it. So if you ever had a moment to piece back on, you could play it. But you don't need to. It's not a rush, nothing like that, right? We ain't sponsored. Don't worry. I just wanted to tell you because I knew you played it as well. All right, my friends. I think that's going to be it. I don't think we're going to raid out. Yeah, we're not going to raid out tonight. I think we're going to let it be. But I appreciate you guys spending this time with me and Mr. Duck. Mr. Duck appreciates you. I will check it out when I can. No worries, my friend. Mr. Duck appreciates you. Thank you for being with us today. And I will send us out for the night. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe, be happy, be healthy, all that kind of jazz. Or get there if you're not. Know that you are loved, kings and queens of the internet and everything in between. I can never do this so it actually looks like a heart. You know what the fuck I'm trying to do. And I will see you guys on Monday with whatever craft thing we work on for our campaign. All right. All right, y'all. That's it. I'm going to send us out. Peace. Good night. Good night.